Hello and welcome. Today I'd like to show you a couple of new features in FireCapture version 2.6. I decided to do an online presentation which might be more interesting to most users than just reading the release notes. Installation is same as in previous version, although restoring your settings from a previous installation is same. Okay, let's start. I made a couple of notes for the most important features just to myself for not forgetting something. Let's start with a new option, upload session details and capture log files. There is a new setting option in the settings dialog under MISC. It's called data upload. This allows you to upload your capture details to the FireCapture data server to make it online and to share it with other users. First, you have to register, you have to provide an email password, optionally name and location, and you have to decide whether you would like to share the data, the session details and or the log file content with other users. If you don't check this, it will for private usage only. So you have to look, you can log in on the data server and the data will be hidden to other users. You have to click register. FireCapture will send an email to your address. If you don't get it, please check the spam folder. And in the email there is a registration link, and after confirmation and restarting the dialog, you should see the green light if you have an internet connection, which means FireCapture is logged in. You might upload your session details from a previous installation, and to do this you can just copy the session.dat file from a previous FireCapture installation to the version 2.6 folder, and then you can press synchronize with server. This will upload all new capture details to the server, and you can press this more than once. It will just ignore it will just ignore all entries. How does it look like? You can press on the data website button that will bring you to the data server. It's mainly just a big data grid, and it allows you to search for specific parameters, whatever you like, and you can also see the log files here over here. It is linked and it will open the log file details. So yeah, that's the cool thing is you can now use, instead of copying the whole log file content into in some forums, you can just use the link over here if you have shared your data, and other user will see your session details. Okay, that's for the data upload stuff. Next is color cameras. Okay, there are a couple of improvements for color cameras. First of all, is you will see now the color histogram even if you don't have enabled debayer in raw mode. This allows you to check the color balance, so you don't have to and you don't need to enable debayer in order to see the color balance. Another thing is the ADC tuning option, which is available in the toolbar. There were some enhancements. First thing is you can check that you like to. The old style was that the ADC tuning was inlined in the preview, but you can also now open it in a separate window instead, so don't hide some of your image, and the window is resizable, so it might. And there is another tuning method which is called outline. This is still experimental, and I'd like to get them feedback about. This basically just prints the outline of the different color channels, and yeah, I'd like to get them feedback whether or not it's better than the standard method. We will see. I can't tell. I didn't do much testing about, and oh yeah, optionally you can show the green outline in the channel 2. The same for the old center of brightness method. Okay, that's was ADC tuning. Next is script interface. Okay, In the script interface, there were a couple of new commands available. I created a short script. The new command is called wait time. That allows you to wait to a specific time. The time format here is 24 hours, so you can just insert a specific time and FireCapture will wait until this time before it starts the capture. Another thing is, another variant of this method is, you can see here, with this format, FireCapture will now, it will loop 10 times and start the capture every full 10 seconds. And it will capture one frame. So let's have a look how this looks like. You see on the clock, it waits until every full 10 seconds and starts the capture. So this can be used with other parameters as well, so you can insert every 1 hour, every minute, or whatever you like. Okay, that's all to this. There's also a new method set dark, so you can optionally also take a dark frame in the script as well. It's also new. Okay, the next one is region of interest in preview, and select. Okay, and there's also an option to select to freely place the region of interest window. So you can right click over here in the preview window and you can pick your region of interest and you can freely place it around where you would like to put it. It doesn't work in dummy cam mode, but it should with a real camera. Another thing is custom selectable region of interest. Yes. On the list here, you know, whenever you choose a region of interest, FireCapture will store it in this custom ROI panel over here. But for it, well, if you have multiple sessions, it may collect a lot of custom ROIs over here. So if you would like to choose specific region of interest solvers, you can click here on the edit user ROIs and you just can pick the region of interest you would like to use. So if you pick them here from the list, FireCapture will throw away all region of interest which are not selected over here when it quits. So whenever you start, you will just see the region of interest you would like to see. To clear to always use all, you have to uncheck again, and it will behave the same as previous versions. Okay, next is save and loading dark and flats. That was requested by a couple of users, so I decided to add it. In the dark frame and flat field options, you can now decide if you'd like to store the darks you take in a folder. So FireCapture has now FireCapture 2.6 has now a folder darks and flats, and whenever you take a dark frame and you have enabled this option, FireCapture will save this dark in the folder. The file is a FireCapture specific format, so you can't use it in other tools. So what you can do now is you can just drag and drop file, the dark frame from the folder to FireCapture, and it will use it for as dark frame. So you see in the name of the dark frame there are a couple of camera parameters added, so you see at least what temperature and stuff like this, so it's easier to decide which dark frame you would like to use. There is also to use a master dark frame. That means if you take a dark for max image size, you don't have to take darks again if you use sub sizes. So if you also use other ROIs, you don't have to take the dark again. So FireCapture just use the master dark from the max image size for the subsequent ROIs. So the same applies for flat fields. That's the same. So you can also pick the option if you would like to save the flats in the flat folder, so you can load them again from the list here. It doesn't make much sense flat for Jupyter here, so but you get a feeling how it works. So you can just quick pick the flats and darks from the list or drag and drop them from the folder. Okay, next one is restart switch camera. Oh, yeah. There is a new action which is called restart camera. So you can just add it to the toolbar, and it allows you to restart your current camera if it hangs for some reason, or you can choose a different camera. You can either restart the camera, or you can also choose a different camera. So this brings me to the next topic, which is ASCOM. There is a new interface available with ASCOM, so that you can pick ASCOM, ASCOM camera. So I have only a simulator here, and FireCapture maybe starts the ASCOM camera. I didn't have the opportunity to test this much, but it's important to know that FireCapture only works with ASCOM cameras with driver version 2, with ASCOM interface version 2. So if your ASCOM camera driver only supports version 1, FireCapture may not work. So you just may try how it gets, but yeah, I could test it much, so I'm really interested in getting some feedback if it works at all. Okay, let's go back to the dummy cam. Okay, next one is stack frames during capture. Okay, there is a new option in the profiles which allows you to create a mid-capture stack. So for instance, if you insert here a number of frames, FireCapture will create a mid-capture stack. So you have a stacked frame which allows you to review, to have a quick look on the data, how good the data is, and maybe you can also use this as measurement files for WinUBOS. So it only makes sense if you have enabled auto align and you have set a limit in advance. So you need to have set a limit, and if your drive is poor, it might be a good idea to use auto align, because FireCapture will not auto align the image during stacking, so you have to auto align it here. So if you now want to capture, we will have a look at the folder. And you will see besides the video, FireCapture creates two additional files. It creates the stacked frame, stacked image with a number of frames you have chosen in the profile settings, and it also creates a little bit a sharpened version. So this might be useful to have a quick look at the conditions when you're recording, just to have a quick get a feeling what the conditions are. Okay, next one is pseudo FPS control. There is a new virtual FPS control available, so you can pick this and you can just choose the frame rate you would like. This is useful if your hard disk can't keep up with write speed, so you want to limit the frame rate a bit, or you can just enable the frame rate, the FPS control. This is available for all cameras. So okay, next is use a selectable surface anchor for solar lunar auto guiding. As you might know, you can use auto guiding for surface. You might know this from version 2.5. FireCapture allows auto guiding on lunar or solar auto guiding. Thanks to Chris Gary, who supported me with code from his pip planetary preprocessing tool. What's new in version 2.6 is in previous version the surface anchor was chosen automatically by Chris code, and in version 2.6 you can manually select the surface anchor. To do this, you can there is a hint here in the auto guiding settings. You have to press Alt and left key and you can just disable auto align. So pressing Alt key and drag with the mouse allows you to manually select the surface anchor. If you then enable auto guiding, Chris will use this feature here in his code to estimate the drive error of your mount. This isn't tested much, so I'm also interested in getting some feedback. To reset the auto guiding anchor, just click on that entry here in the auto guiding menu. Okay. Next one, multiple preprocessing filters and plugins. This has also changed. You might know in previous versions there was always only one preprocessing filter available from the drop-down box over here. In starting with version 2.6 now, I decided to allow multiple filters and plugins, so you actually can select multiple plugins or filters, and to decide what is visible here, you just use the second column here and you can pick the one you would like to see on there in the preprocessing detail panel. Yeah, to reset, just in previous version, just click on the reset filter button. Last thing, there is a new alignment mode for deep sky images. Let's have a look. Which does an image registration, but it's still experimental again. I don't have much deep sky data I could play with, so in the profiles, if you have set a deep sky as target as auto align mode, there's a new auto align mode named DSO. So if you pick this and you have some image drift, as in this example, you can just click on the auto align button and it will register the image, so it will align the image, or it should align the image. Isn't tested much. I would like to see. The drawback is this really takes some time. It's computation intensive, so should really only be used for deep sky imaging where we have long exposure, so it doesn't matter how long it takes. It's not recommended to using this for planetary images. So the cool thing is with the image registered, you can just do live stacking, for instance. Just click enable the live stacking preprocessing filter and it will just stack the images. This is a real slow computer, so it really takes time. So now the images are registered, overlaid, and it creates a live stack when using the live stacking. So it might be really interesting for deep sky imaging. Okay, let's reset this. Okay, these are the most important features, let's say. There are a couple of more, but I like to go into the details too much, so this was just an introduction in the main features of the new version. Okay, that's all for now. Hope you enjoyed it and see you next time. Bye bye.